Hello and welcome everybody to this new episode of XTB Live News. My name is Walid Kudmani and I am the market analyst for XTB. And in this episode, we're going to be covering the main events of the day, what's been happening in the markets this morning, what we can expect from the US session, which is closed today for President's Day, what the economic calendar holds for us, and we're going to take a look at some charts with some major moves, perhaps even some key levels to keep an eye on. Thank you for being with us. Today is the 15th of February, Monday. And let's start with the weekend session and the fact that Asian markets started the week higher, with Nikkei index gaining 1.9% and closing above 30,000 points for the first time since 1990. This is a huge deal because the Japanese index actually last reached this level during a bubble, while this time it has been a growth that has led this index to be above 30,000 points. The S&P 500 and the US 100 futures, along with other indices, started the week also higher with their futures, as the cash session will not be taking place because of a holiday, but they both managed to reach new all-time highs. The European session also started higher, but then we saw some pullbacks, which I will go ahead and show on the charts. And this is all also due to some positive news related to Corona, with cases decreasing globally. 290,000 cases were reported yesterday, the lowest figure since October 2020. So that's all some good news that's been helping the markets, along with some positive data from the South Korean, Singapore, and Japanese economies. Oil continues to gain with the new week, with Brent reaching $63. This comes on the back of some tensions and clashes between Saudi forces and Houthi forces in Yemen. And this is, of course, going to be causing some instability in the region, which tends to lead sometimes to some fluctuations in the price of oil, which, after managing to reach $60, this key level managed to also continue the upward move. Precious metals are in a mixed situation, with gold and palladium declining, while platinum and silver have made some gains. And when it comes to, in fact, some cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin has reached $49,000 over the weekend, which has increased and continued its upward move. But then the coin started to decline during the Asian session and reached a level below 48,000. Let's take a look at the economic calendar today. Quite light because of the fact that US and Canada are on holiday for President's Day. But we had some CPI inflation data from Poland this morning, Eurozone trade balance for December, Eurozone industrial production for December, and we can expect some data from Canada at 1:30 p.m. GMT, which is the Canadian manufacturing sales for December. We could see some volatility in the markets because of those, but overall quite muted for the beginning. When it comes to politics, for the European followers of markets, we saw that Mario Draghi in Italy was sworn in as president, but some tensions have already arisen between the governments, which could lead to some instability in the Italian, perhaps even European markets. Let's move on to the charts real quick now. Start, as always, with the DAX, the DE30 under the X station. As I said, European markets starting with this upward gap. The DAX reaching a high of 14,152 and pulling back currently almost 0.55%, but remains above the close. The index is actually testing the 21 EMA, which is this yellow line. And as you can see, after reaching this low, the index has managed to continue its upward move. With the lack of data today, it remains to be seen. Of course, it will be able to continue, but so far this level has held. Other indices in Europe, we can see the Italian one, which I just mentioned, positive start, better than the DAX, but still uncertainty, so we see it in these candles with like long wicks. The French index, also positive start, while the UK one also sees some positive start, extending the upward move even higher as it trades at 6,645. As I mentioned earlier, also the US indices, we saw these new all-time highs on their futures. They keep testing as well these moving averages, just trading around them. As you can see, this is a 30-minute interval. We can go on the hourly, upward gap, same situation with an upward move, and then pull back at the moment. Precious metals, as I said, let's take a look at gold, which is now recovering above 1820 after reaching this low, as you can see, of 1815. Bounced off this level, which is also a previous price reaction zone, and is now attempting to recover. But as you can see, it started the day lower. If we take a look at silver, on the other hand, starting the day higher after some instability, now is attempting to test the daily high around $27.06. Bitcoin, real quick, let's take a look. 47.6. As I mentioned, This upward move with some instability and volatility has continued overall, but that really remains to be seen when it comes to the cryptos because there are several things that affect them. When it comes to oil, one more thing. As you can see, huge upward move, then upward gap, and now it's currently trading laterally around the $63 mark. 63.40-ish. This is Brent, of course. And meanwhile, WTI also benefiting from the instability as it trades above $60. Following this upward gap, as you can see, I'll show you. The distance is from 59.50, almost 2%, actually even reaching higher than 2%, and then pulling back slightly, but attempting to make a move higher. Let's move on to currencies finally. We'll take a look at the market analysis section on the XTB platform, the X station. As you can see, the dollar trading weaker, one of the weakest currencies as it trades lower against all these other major currencies, miners, and emerging markets. Only the yen slightly pulled back against the dollar. Euro also one of the worst performing currencies. Meanwhile, we can see the pound actually is one of the best performing currencies as it trades higher against most other majors. The Swiss franc is mixed. And I'll show you some pairs at the moment with all these currencies. So pound dollar is around 139. Huge upward move, as you can see, extended above all the moving averages. We can see the cross here, and then the upward move continued. Where this can go really remains to be seen, but as I'll show you here, we can see some weakness in the dollar. The blue is the dollar index, so a representation of dollar against major currencies and a basket of currencies. As you can see, as it drops, Euro USD is climbing with Euro USD 121.35. RSI remains in between overbought and oversold, so around 61.5 at the moment on the hourly time frame. And I'll just show you the USD index just to give you an idea as well of all the, as you can see, this huge pullback. But where it will go today, it will remain to be seen because the markets are closed in the US. But we will come back later in the week, and of course through the WhatsApps and through all the market analysis and news sections and all the content we provide, we will try to keep you up to date with the market moves, what's been happening, and what to expect coming in the next days. So thank you very much for following. Thank you for paying attention. Hopefully this video was useful, and good luck with your trading.